Okay, so today is day 4, I think, of the Lutefisk Saga, and I promised I would show you about the elastic modulus, so I will do that. So pull out some stock fish. Okay, so the elastic modulus is basically how spongy something is. Actually, it's actually how stiff it is, but it's kind of the same thing. And Lutefisk, bad Lutefisk is too soft, so that's kind of an interesting thing to measure here when we're talking about Lutefisk. So, how do you measure how stiff or how spongy something is? Well, you just press down on it and you see how spongy it is. And that's a scientific method right there. That's how you do it. Actually, that's not, but that's basically the basic idea. So what you do is you measure the height of this, and I'm going to go through this quickly because I don't really feel like this too much. So you measure it, you measure the height of it, and then basically what you do is you place a weight on it and until it's deformed a bit. So one way you can do this is, I only don't have like 4 hands, so this is hard. You can pour water in until you see it deformed a bit and you see the weight has gone down a bit. So basically, you know, so there are 3 things here you measure, well actually 4. There are 3 things here you measure. First is the initial height, then how much it gets pressed down by how much mass you put on. So you put on mass and you increase the mass until it just starts to deform a bit. And so you measure initial height, how much it changes, how much mass you put on to do that, and basically that gives you the force. And there's one other thing you got to know. You got to know the area of the point of contact between the 2 things. So basically, in my case, I picked this thing because it's about the same size as the fish, and so I have to measure the area right here. So you've got that. Let me think. Yeah. So from those 4 things, the area, the mass, or rather the force, which follows from the mass, and the initial height, and the change, displacement in height, you can measure the elastic module, and there's a formula for that. It's like E equals F divided by A over delta L divided by L, I think, but I could have it wrong. You could look it up. I have to look it up every time. But, well, not after that. Not after the end of this 2 or 3 weeks of experimentation, I won't be looking up anymore. I'll have it memorized at that point. But here's another thing I should mention. This is kind of my most important measurement, but this is the hardest measurement, because when this is displaced by given force, it's only displaced by like a millimeter or 2 or 3 millimeters. And so it's very sensitive. I mean, I got to measure, little teeny tiny bits of change on here, depending on how much water I pour in here. And I'm really kind of worried about the accuracy of it. I'm very worried about that. But I will do my best. I'll keep records, do my best, and we'll just see how it works. Maybe, I don't know. We'll just see how it works. But in addition to that, here are my little calculations. So you can see I've measured the starting, the ending height, the mass. I haven't calculated the delta yet, and I haven't calculated the F. And I also measure the mass of the fish every day too. So, and I'm thinking about measuring the pH. I don't know. I might not. But so this is kind of my most important measurement, and it's also my sort of most problematic measurement in that it is hard to do. So I've talked too much on it. This is almost 4 minutes. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow if I feel like doing it tomorrow. I'll definitely take my measurements. I don't know if I feel like making another video. I realize the Lutefisk Saga to you guys probably seems just like all glamour, right? But believe me, there's a lot of work going on in here. It's not all glamour. Believe me. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow maybe, or maybe the day after. All right, goodbye.